Good evening, Chef here. Trust you're well. Trust you've had a good day. Start of the week. We've got Monday out of the way. For those parents out there, you've only got 4 more days, and then the children on half term, and I guess all the juggling around of childcare happens and everything else. But on the plus point, you haven't got the mad rush in the morning. You know, it's a bit later in the evening, and ultimately you're spending time with your children, which is fantastic. Um, I've had a few people ask me or send me sort of private messages about um, how come you're always so positive, Shafiq? How can I keep being positive? Um, how can I deal with life's little sort of curveballs that's thrown at me? You know, I start the day in the best possible way, and I really want to sort of grab it by the scruff of the neck and say nothing's going to phase me. But sorry, but I can't keep it up. And one of the things is that if you're starting this journey, if you're starting this journey of confidence and empowerment and life fulfillment and living life and loving life, um, it doesn't happen overnight. You know, it's all about training yourself and training your mind and getting your body and your mind right in order to work in unison to cope with these situations. Um, Maybe you can liken it to being in the special forces, where they have to go through such grueling rigors that when most people would break and just say enough's enough, these guys have something in them. You know, it's internal fortitude that the mind is the strongest weapon, they say. And in their situation, their mind is, I will not be broken, I will not give in. And if you turn that around to just the average bloke here or lady, uh, who is not in anything like that scenario, your mind is your strongest asset for changing your life. So, today's Monday, and to be honest, I felt a bit flat today. I don't know why. Um, I think I had lots of things on my mind. We've got a very busy week this week. We're visiting schools and parents' evenings and hospital visits and seeing the priest and all this sort of stuff. And it's lots of juggling around. And I kind of felt a bit kind of overwhelmed by it all. So I kind of felt a bit peculiar, and the weather was very strange as well. We had all that sort of was it Saharan dust that's been blown up from the storm, and then we had the orange of the smoke from Portugal. They were saying the Portugal fires. So it's kind of quite oppressive out there and quite peculiar. I don't know if that played on my mind still. I don't know. Nice and warm though. But I just practiced. I practiced my affirmations, and I keep going on about the affirmations. But it's about practicing, and if something happens and you don't plan for it, number one is to learn to respond and not to react. It's very easy for somebody to cut you up and you go, oh, beep, 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 and carry it on. Well, that's you reacting instantaneously. But that reaction it's like a ripple effect, and it affects the rest of the journey and the rest of the journey and the rest of the journey. If you can respond and literally that split second where you want to react, you go, nope, I'm going to address this. Yeah, he or she's a complete beep beep, but let them go on their way. I'm just going to roll with it. And by responding to something in a way that you calculate is the correct way for your mood and your mind frame, you're going to be in a better place. And if you go to bed at night, and as I keep going about holding these affirmations and holding these thoughts in your alpha state, remember alpha as in amen, as if you're switching off ready for the night, you're programming your subconscious to take in all those wonderful feelings, all those wonderful images, all those wonderful chants and mantras that you've been saying. I will be successful, I will be content, I will be wealthy, I will be calm. If I rephrase that, I am successful, I am wealthy, I am calm, I am fulfilled, I am empowered, and everything that comes to my life is going to bring me joy and abundance. And if you keep saying stuff like this, that's relevant to you when you're in that alpha state, you're going to take it on board. It's going to resonate so much, it's such a powerful charge in you. So when you break up in the morning, you're going to feel good about yourself. And it's like having that cup of coffee in the morning. it's just a natural high. So it gives you that little bit of an edge. That little bit edge, so if the children are kicking off and not getting on or brushing their teeth, or they can't find their school tie, it just gives you that calmness to say, I'm in a good place, I'm in a good place, I'm not going to be affected, I'm not going to be affected, and move yourself away from it. And then you just literally find it's like momentum throughout the day. You end up, like I end up, picking on people's irritations. And I'm thinking, take a step back and think, why are they acting like that? There's no need to act like that. Can they not see what it's doing to themselves? And then you kind of champion yourself, and you kind of think to yourself, Christ, if I can see that was me maybe 2-3 weeks ago, then I've got to be doing something right. And then if you know you're doing something right, like if you jump in that car for the first time and you start to learn to drive, and you think, how on earth is that clutch and that accelerator and that biting point and then that gear stick and that mirror signal manoeuvre, and how is this all going to work? I've got no idea. And then you stall and you're like, oh no, and that first handbrake, hill start. But your second lesson, your third lesson, your fourth lesson, your fifth lesson, and the praise you get from the instructor and the confidence you get in yourself. And look at us all now, we can do it with our eyes closed. I wouldn't recommend driving with your eyes closed, but the fact of the matter is it's practice. It's about taking that decision in your life to say, I am going to change something around. And if I want to be confident throughout the day and upbeat, I'm going to do something about it. So I'm going to practice affirmations. I'm going to practice holding images before I go to bed. I'm going to remove myself out of conflict. I'm going to remove myself away from people that are negative. I'm going to just surround myself with the warmth of the sun, of walking through the park on my way to work. Be a child, kick up the leaves, make sure there's not a dog poo there. But just take yourself back to when you were free and easy and calm and content and everything was fantastic. You know, I remember today there was something on the news and it was 30 years since the Great Storm, and people were reliving it, and I was 12, 13 and 12, and I remember the day of the Great Storm where we went to school. We got up, my brother and I, and we walked to school. We got the 7:20 coach, and we got up in the morning and we thought, what the bloody hell's happened here? And the cul-de-sac we were lived in, there were these huge, enormous trees down, and I couldn't believe the fact that we were sent out to school by our parents in the midst of this storm and all the trees that were down. And we walked up there and we waited at the coach stop, and the coach never turned up. And I was like, said to Jim, we might get a day off of school here. This has been our first day off of school. Luckily we had house keys, so we got back home and we just spent the day at home. But I instantaneously took myself back to the age when I was 12, and I was walking to school with my brother. You know, I'm an identical twin. And I remember it as clear as gin is clear, as water is clear. It was such a prevalent thought in my mind that even though I felt flat and uptight, it instantly gave me a little, just a smile, even thinking about it now. You know, me, that little boy with his satchel and his school tie on, you know, getting on coach 3, you know, covering Cobham and Esher and Claygate, you know, on the way to Chertsey. Those little things that you can drop in throughout the day are those little things that take your mind away from possible areas of conflict and concern, and just reboot yourself. Right, I'm going to be back on track again. I'm back on track again. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be content. But it takes time. Just like driving that car, just like learning your times table. You know, you've got to do a little bit, and then that increase, just until it becomes second nature. It's not going to happen overnight. But watching these videos and posting stuff on my site, you know, be it the Facebook site or on the YouTube channel, or get in contact with me, it's all positive stuff. And positive stuff that you can use to definitely 100% make such a difference in your lives, and just live your life with a smile on your face and be positive, so positive that people start commenting on it and you just say, it's infectious, this. Shall I tell you my secret? You know, shall I tell you how to do it? And then you're just living an amazing life. So I trust this has been helpful. Practice positivity, remain upbeat, remain confident. And as I always say, you've got to believe to succeed, so completely throw yourself into this. So please subscribe, please share, please post, and please be active. Take care, have a lovely evening. Cheerio, bye.